this video we're going to be doing just how to evaluate a function. This is something that I ran into that once I teach solving for a single variable, a lot of students get confused about doing something to multiple sides of an equation versus evaluating just a single function. So I'm going to try to stress the difference here. So I've started us with 3 different functions and we've named them f of x. So remember that when I have functions specifically, you're going to see the letter first, and then in parentheses some variable that is also found in the function itself. That's kind of a tell that we're doing functions instead of solving for a specific variable. So we have f of x, g of x, h of x. So we have 3 different ones to choose from. And let's just pick and evaluate a couple and see what that looks like. So let's say the first thing that I'm going to try for is g of 3. If that's my first example, the thing I want to kind of look for first is if I have a letter out front that tells me functions, and then it also tells me what specific function. So I know I can get rid of the f, I can get rid of the h for right now, and I'm only worried about this middle one. The 3, so the thing that's inside parentheses here, tells me what's being replaced in the function. And this doesn't do much for us now because we only have single variables here. But if we had multiple options of what to replace, this tells me the letter that gets replaced. So x is the thing getting replaced. So I'm going to write out that function again. I'm doing an absolute value just to kind of sneak a little bit of extra practice there. So when I'm looking for g of 3 instead of g of x, all x's get replaced with 3's. So I'm going to have 10 times absolute value of 3. Now the absolute value doesn't really do much here. We started with a positive number. If it was negative 3, for example, it would flip positive first. So either way we would have got the same answer. 10 times 3 gives me 30. So another thing that I want to specify for functions is I'm not going to have just x equals something. Well, we already told you what x is. We're replacing x with 3. But that's not our answer here. We want to say g of 3 equals 30. So I always have said for single equations or single variable equations solving for one thing, I want a variable, an equal sign, and a value. Here I want the function, what we're plugging in, equal sign, and then the value. Just a second one. Let's go a different color to try to help keep it apart. Let's say I also had h of 5, for example. Pick one that works nicely. Originally, that would tell me to go to this function over any of the other 2. Originally, it was h of x equals 20 divided by x minus 1. 5 is the thing that gets plugged in. X is the thing that gets replaced. So 20 divided by 5 minus 1. Well, that's going to give me 4 minus 1 equals 3. So again, I would have not h equals or not x equals, h of 5. That whole thing equals 3. So just a very quick function recap. That was something that was causing my class issues recently. So something to recap. Things to stick out. We are only dealing with the function itself. You're not trying to get h by itself or anything like that. Because of that, our answers are a little bit bigger. We don't have a single letter equals. We have the function and the thing getting plugged in.